This CAP project is on the pragmatic development of a 3-year-old child. Hi, I'm Michaela Schultz. By 3 years old, a child can comprehend about 200 to 300 words. A child has to be able to comprehend and be able to use about 50 words to make 2-word utterances. These utterances can be used for greetings, informing, demanding, promising, and requesting. As a young adult or an adult, it is pragmatically correct to know the difference between requesting and demanding. As a child, more specifically, a 3-year-old child does not know the difference between a demand or request and which one to use in different social situations. Demands are easier for children because the shortest number of words is used the most efficiently to get the child what it wants. An example of that would be the statement, "Give me," referring to some object that they want. A request comes later in life and usually more socially acceptable. "Please will you give that to me" is a request opposed to just "give me" as a demand. Children understand and respond better to direct forms, also known as demanding, than indirect forms, also known as requesting. When it comes to informing, a 3-year-old child has minimal awareness of what you know versus what they know. Children often think that everyone knows what they know, so they often leave out important details when explaining or telling a story. Therefore, an adult might have to keep prompting the child for more information or clarification, known as contingent queries. Children usually repeat back what they said instead of rephrasing to make more sense. Also, an adult has to be careful to ask questions that are in the realm of the child's understanding when wanting more details. Promising can be difficult to a child because they are very egotistical. They put themselves first. Everything is theirs and everything is about them and how they feel or what they want. The child might promise to give the last slice of pizza away, but instead eat it themselves because they are hungry and wanted it. For a 3-year-old, promising does not mean the same thing as it would for an adult. That develops more with age and consciousness of others. The 3-year-old is lacking theory of mind at this time in their life. Greetings from a 3-year-old change considerably from infancy. Instead of just a non-verbal hello, such as a wave, they are able to greet verbally, such as bye-bye, and non-verbally with a wave as well.
Hi, my name is Sophie Hipple. 3-year-olds start to understand that in certain settings, such as at preschool in the classroom talking to their teacher, versus on the playground at school, that the way they act and talk are different. For example, a boy named Johnny knows that on the playground with his friends, he is using an outside voice versus using an inside voice and talking respectfully to his teacher. 3-year-olds start to have knowledge of rules and have the skills to change behaviors based on environment. Children at this age begin talking in longer dialogues. Therefore, being able to take on a role in playtime with a friend, they can begin to understand playing a certain character may cause them to want to say a longer phrase or sentence. Children don't always give the necessary background information to the listener. Therefore, they use a lot of deixis, so they assume the listener knows all of the information that they do. For example, Johnny explaining a boy at school saying, "He made the coolest drawing today," assuming the parents know that he is talking about his friend Kyle, but they do not know who he is. 3-year-olds start to give background information to an unfamiliar listener. For example, a child saying, "I didn't like the crackers today," and the mom who wasn't present saying, "What crackers?" and the child responding, "The one we got at snack today at school." The child is able to begin to explain what happened earlier in the day to someone who wasn't there. A 3-year-old child may begin to change the pitch of their voice. For example, when seeing a baby, they make their voice higher and go back to speaking how they did when they were younger. This involves code switching, which involves the child using simpler language. Compared to when they are asking their mom a question, they will say, "Mommy, can I go outside?" knowing it needs to be more formal. They start to know differences of how they talk and initiate conversation with certain people. At school, the child begins to be able to request permission, for example, asking, "Can I use the restroom, Mrs. Harrison?" or "Can I have a snack?" A 3-year-old starts to make conversational repairs when the listener has not understood. For example, a girl telling her mom she played with this girl during playtime, then going off topic to talking about asking what's for dinner. The mom corrects her back to what she was originally talking about asking, "What girl?" The daughter will then be able to go back to the original topic. The mom may use vertical strategy in order to prompt the child to produce other elements of a longer response. wanting them to engage in the original topic.
Hi, my name is Karli. According to our peer-reviewed article on ResearchGate, turn-taking concerns the ability to organize verbal interaction by taking turns, that is, by selecting an appropriate place for one's verbal contribution in conversation. Turn-taking can be conversational or while playing or borrowing something from a partner. Toddlers are able to maintain 2 to 5 turn-takings. After the 5th, the toddler may go off topic and begin discussing about something else that is not necessarily related to the topic. At the age of 3, a child is better initiating a topic rather than maintaining one. Playing with peers is very important in the pragmatic development of a child. At the age of 3, a child is able to play with themselves as well as interacting with their peers and environment. When a child is role-playing, it can help with the child's imagination. For example, he or she may pretend to be a cashier at Publix. This playtime can help with language as well as increasing their cognitive abilities. 3 to 4-year-olds engage in interactive play. Interactive play is when they engage with their peers playing with something such as their Barbie dolls. Although they can play interactively, they do not necessarily have cooperative play drilled into their heads. Cooperative play is when the child is able to work with a partner in order to reach a goal. For example, building a house out of Legos together. This is also known as joint action. Joint action is when 2 or more persons share a common action. At the age of 3, adults may need to facilitate interaction by using specific teaching techniques. Some techniques that adults may use in order to get a child to explain themselves better are prompting and consequating behaviors. Prompting. Fill-ins, elicited imitations, and questions are used in order to prompt a child to say something. For example, fill-ins are when an adult will tell the child what something is and then reiterate what they said and say, "What is it again?" For example, they may tell a child, "This dog is a poodle breed. What is it?" "It is a..." Then they will pause. Elicited imitations are when the parents request for their child to imitate what they are saying. This is used when saying hi and goodbye. For example, a parent might tell their child, "Say bye-bye to your friend," or "Say hi to your teacher." Lastly, questions are used when prompting. In order for the child to speak more, the adult must have W questions. For example, they may say, "What are you eating?" or "Where are you going after school today?" or "What is your dad's name?" Vertical strategy may also be used in order to get a child to have a longer response. For example, if a child just says kitty cat, the parent may say, "Where's the kitty cat?" And if the child just says here, the parent may say, "Is the kitty cat in the house or on the driveway?" Consequating behaviors is when an adult will react in a certain manner after a child has an utterance. Some ways that they may act are by imitation. Imitation is when the adult will reiterate what the child is saying in order to ensure that they are getting a clear understanding of what they are talking about. For example, the child may say, "I think doggy outside," and an adult will say, "Do you think that your dog is outside?" Adults may also expand a child's utterance, but maintaining the same word order and topic that the child articulated. For example, if the child says, "big horse," the adult may say, "That is a big horse, that is jumping." And the child will say, "big horse jumping." This helps the child learn to speak in longer sentences and explain themselves better and clearer. Adults may also incorporate chaining. Chaining is when the adult will ask the child for clarification of what they are saying. This helps the child convey their message clearer as well. Children at the age of 3 are not capable yet of fully explaining themselves, so in order to teach them, an adult should ask for clarification of whatever they are saying. For example, if the child asks, "What are you eating for lunch?" and the child says, "I want sandwich." And then the adult will then say, "You want a sandwich? What do you want in your sandwich?" Conversational repairs are a strategy used for speakers to clarify what they have said in their previous utterance. Contingent queries are when a child asks for clarification on something that the speaker has said. Children as young as 23 months old are beginning to be able to clarify themselves when the listener doesn't understand what they have said. They are also able to produce as well as respond to a contingent query. An example of a contingent query is, for example, if an adult says, "Do you want pizza?" and the child says, "What?" The utterance of "what" is a contingent query. It is asking for a clarification of what the speaker has said. Young children have trouble holding eye contact, but as the age progresses, they will be able to hold eye contact for longer periods of time. The adult that is speaking to them may have to say the child's name periodically while speaking to them in order to get them to keep their attention and eye contact. The adult may also sit close up to the child and speak with high intonation in order for the child to keep their focus on them speaking.